is going to be fantastic, especially the best way to get your day started. Also, TreasureTDK Eruro is a spoken word artist, a poet, and also performer with over 50 published and unpublished poetry pieces to her credit. A Letter to the Devil, Broken, Excellence in the Ordinary, and We Will Thrive. These are some of them. Some of her most recent works were also released on the 14th of February 2021. Her style of poetry is emotive and reflective.
I feel very excited. I feel tensed, as it usually is with me before I go on stage for any piece. So if I perform anything, any piece at all.
We're here. She's very nervous, but she's doing well.
I feel like it's a great opportunity for me, and I'm hoping that I'll have more of this, more presence out there. I hope that I'll be heard, and I pray that I'll be heard the way I want to be heard, because there's a lot that I want to say in this life, a lot about my life. Because so the piece I'm doing, right, is Dear Future Husband. Is a very personal, very personal piece. Yet any lady that chooses to wait, or that is single and is waiting for their own man, would find their voice in the piece, because it's an embodiment of my personal experiences, and I believe that a lot of people are out there like me that have been through stuff. So yeah, I'm excited that more people are going to hear it, and it feels a bit awkward, because I was like, hey, it's my personal story and everyone's going to find out about it, but I really don't mind, because it's also like going to be a testimony at the end of the day. So yeah.
Welcome back. It's an exciting Monday edition here for Wake Up Nigeria, and of course today we have TreasureTDK Eruro. She's a spoken word artist, poet, and also performer with over 50 published and unpublished poetry pieces to her credit. A Letter to the Devil, Broken, Excellence in the Ordinary, We Will Thrive. These are just some of them. Her most recent release is Dear Future Husband, which was released on the 14th of February 2021. Her style of poetry is emotive and reflective. It is so good to have you here with us, TreasureTDK. I can't wait to see or hear what it is you have for us today. I have a few questions that I'd really like to ask you. I fear that I might know the answer to this one, but what exactly influences your kind of poetry?
Oh, well, it's simple. My love for God, pretty much, and the Spirit of God, especially when I'm dealing with depression. That's like the major time where these words are cooked. So.
Cooked. I like that word. Yes, and then your last one, a letter to my husband. But are you married? Aren't you married?
No, dear future husband, no, I'm not married.
You're not married?
Yeah, that's why I wrote him a letter.
We do have one person here who's not married. Maybe Mike might want to read that book or something. It might be a letter to him. I'm just thinking. but if Mike is there, so Mike, would you like to read this, Mike? Look at him. Well, Treasure,
let's go fast.
A very stunning specimen for you there. You might want to. Okay, so listen, we can't wait to, hear your delivery. We've been looking forward to it all weekend, and finally you're here. So we're just going to let you go ahead and enthrall us with your piece.
Dear future husband, just so you know, I've been through a lot. I can tell you for free that I've been through hell, but you probably should know that I was born from the flames. And yeah, I'm hot. I mean, I've been hurt. But the heat has taught me to chill in the coolness of God's presence. After all, that's all I've had in this fight. And fight, yes, because this battle has been on since the day I was born. So much I wondered at your existence. But love showed you to me in my mind's eyes. And though I don't have your face or your name, but I see God and His love in the light of your vessel. I've been waiting for you, darling. Like a dedicated soldier holding the gates in time of war for the king to come in. I've been wrestling with all kinds of enemies. Self, when my hands touch me, dirty. When women with unstable ignorance and men with broken promises stop by for a drink of my fountain, I was left high and dry. I found comfort with enemies that made me flirt with darkness for a while, romancing depression and loneliness. Found nothing at the bottom of bottles. No smoke could screen my hate for me and mine, yet for every time I wanted to give up on you. The thought of us holding hands in worship holds me back. But I feel so lonely in this fight for two. Wondering if you are fighting for two, keeping your horse ready for this battle. Knowing the kind of times we're in, darling, I wish I could tell you that purity is my middle name. But faith, patience, and empathy is the core of this treasure's game. My mind might not be pure, but my heart is so sure. And darling, I'm writing this letter to you to tell you that I'm done. Been my wicked word lately, but I'm done with hypocrisy, done with the baggage of the past, I'm done with the stories of my scars, done hiding in the shadows of stars, I'm done. Been anybody's fancy show or lab rat, I'm done with all the fears and tears and cares of this world. I care less. I was wreck and less of me. I'm done because of this. I'm ready to wait for you. I come clean, because my Jesus says I am clean. He exchanged my past for his future. And darling, it springs joy from my tender heart and envelopes me with safety. I know you know what I mean. I see you two are made of him. So I'm gonna drop this letter here. To the next one I'll write to you on our wedding day. And oh, what joy it will bring to finally meet our help and help meets, joined by our help and meeting needs. And maybe on our wedding night too. But that letter will come with sounds of heaven, like God's making a ritual of worship with strings of love bonding in freedom, careless and reckless of what might be or not. That letter will be less of me and more of us. Until then, darling, I wait.
I'm done! My wife.
All right, welcome back. Now we have this amazing opportunity to have a conversation with someone who speaks quite
indeed.
well.
We couldn't just let her go. TreasureTDK is still with us. We had to stop her as she was heading out. Come back. We want to talk to you. We want to help you find that man. But Treasure,
Mazino, that is not the reason.
I'm
Please
sorry.
ignore him.
Yeah, but
I
I was very, very excited about her poetry. Your poetry is beautiful, lovely.
Thank you.
Just wanted to say this and let everybody hear while I say to you that was beautiful, awesome work there. Awesome.
Thank you.
So where do you get your themes from? Where do those messages come from? Do you just pluck them from the air, or you have a focus?
I like how you said it, and it's something like that. But it's mostly when I'm in a state or in a phase.
Okay.
So usually that's like my conversation with the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
When I'm really down. So his comforting words, they end up being poetry to me.
Hang on a second. The Holy Spirit gives you hookup lines and how to pick up a man.
Yeah.
Girl, you gotta introduce me to that Holy Spirit. Is what you have to do.
Okay.
Really?
Gladly.
But fantastic in your rendition, the way you put it across, the rhythm and movement and everything just works so well. Is this something I can learn? I fancy myself a writer, but maybe not as good as you, but I do write a little bit of poetry. But what I can't get is that rhythm which you use when you do your stuff.
I think it's just, you just have to be yourself when you're presenting it. It's how it comes to you is how you say it. So you apply yourself to the piece. You can't, you is the piece and the piece is you. So you have to apply yourself to it. Put your heart in it. Let every word be felt. So because that's how it came. So why hide it?
Especially likes the part where you said, I'm so sorry.
No.
I'm so excited. I especially like the part where you said, I'm hot and I'm hurt. And I'm like, ooh. Finish work.
It's really interesting. It's really interesting the way you weave your words, and obviously you've performed, so many times on different platforms. But who are those platforms? So for those watching at home, what platforms are the ones that actually demand for a craft like yours?
Oh, well, I'd say religious and corporate. So I minister in church. I like to call it ministration when it's a church stage. And then I perform in some corporate events. I have done something for MTN twice. And it was amazing. You know, the audience was different. And so the fact that they were able to appreciate it just was fantastic. And some other corporate organizations as well. Then on YouTube, that's like my...
Okay.
Yeah, that's where
So what's your YouTube channel called?
TreasureTDK.
TreasureTDK.
Yes.
So we can get loads of those performances right there on YouTube.
Yes.
All right, amazing. I can't wait to watch them.
And by the way, the man you're looking for has just gone to YouTube to go search for you as well.
I'll be waiting.
She's waiting. Your words and your presence have got all the guys on set excited today. Thank you so much for joining us.
No, one man excited.
Look who's
Mike.
talking. Really? Mazino, I'm going to remind you about this next year when we're doing This Week in History next year.
Okay.
Speaking of This Week in History, we have to head on to that segment. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Actually had fun. It was like super fly out there. As tense as I was initially, I got in and TreasureTDK took over, and it's the words, just how they want to be said, and that's exactly how I just say it. It was a very beautiful moment. I felt like I was talking to the future. No, I'm joking. Scratch that. I mean, it was just very inspiring. I loved every bit of it, and then the hosts were amazing. They made it really, the feel of the place, in fact. They didn't make it so hard or so difficult. So kudos to the team, TVC communications team. Yeah, the match made me, yes. Oh, where's my man? Oh my God, my man. Let's do this again. Maybe to the next TV house or something. Signing out. I scared to see it. I'll touch myself. Let me.
You need to stop your Netflix. It's affecting you.